Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you so much for joining us for another Nimble training webinar. Today we will be focusing on segmentation, group messaging, and custom fields. My name is Michaela Underdahl and I'm the marketing lead at Nimble. Before we get started, because I know we have some people that are completely new to Nimble here, please let's use a minute or two to talk about what Nimble is. So Nimble is an easy to use customer relationship management tool that works for you in Microsoft 365, Google Workspace, and also everywhere else you work. And what we mean by that is that because we realize that most of us don't spend time and we don't want to spend our time in our CRMs, we spend a lot of time in our inbox, we receive emails, communicate with prospects and customers, we do prospecting and engagement with prospects and customers on social media, on various different websites. We also live in other cloud-based applications. So that's why we build Outlook and Gmail plugins that plug directly into your inbox, and then you can use them to access existing contact records, add any additional information, set up the next steps with them, and also you can use it to build new contact records. So Nimble will know if the contact that you are just communicating with already exists in your database or not, and will allow you to create new contact records. And we also have browser plugins for all the main browsers, Firefox, Safari, Chrome, and also Microsoft Edge. So then you can use Nimble outside of Nimble on any website, any social media platform, and in any third-party application like MailChimp, Xero, QuickBooks Online, Reliance Network, any application basically. And the way it works is that you can just open it up, hover over any hyperlink name anywhere, or highlight it if it's not a hyperlink. Nimble will be able to read it, and our automatic contact enrichment feature will kick in and will start suggesting additional social profiles for people and looking additional information about them, saving you time on research and data entry. So Nimble also automatically combines your contacts and links them with the communication histories and email inboxes and also calendar appointments. So then when you open up a contact record inside of Nimble, you know exactly what happened with them, all the emails that you have exchanged, what are the next steps, and who is responsible for getting them done in your company. Nimble is also available on both iPhone and Android mobile devices, and we are about to launch a major update to the way the contact record looks like. So we are basically unifying the look that you already see in the main application on the browser extensions, and now we're bringing it on mobile as well. And let's go into Nimble now. So just to reiterate, today we will be focusing on creating custom fields, looking at how segmentation, the Nimble's contact search work, and then how you can use group messaging to outreach to people at scale. If you are interested in a deep dive into the whole application, please register for our webinar next Wednesday, or you can also watch any of our recorded ones on YouTube. So here we are on the Nimble's contact record. I'll actually go over it in a little more details because it links to the segmentation. So we'll go over the different things that you will be able to segment people on and come up with targeted groups for outreaches. So the contact record is supposed to help you figure out exactly who the person is that you are looking at, where they work, what their title is. As I mentioned, Nimble will automatically be looking for their additional social media platforms. If they have multiple versions of a record, we will also find them. You'll be able to either accept the bio that we find for them from other places where they're active, or you can completely customize it. So this is important for the segmentation as well, because you'll be able to use this field to segment on any keywords, for instance. It's also very useful for any for meeting prep, and if you do any cold calling or warm calling, when you get people on the phone, it's always nice to kind of see what they're interested in, what they're passionate about, what their expertise is in, and you can bring up these things when you're talking to them, get their attention and show them that you have done your research and that you care about who they are and what they do. So that's the bio. You can, of course, change the photo. You can pick from a different one. You can also manually update it. If you want to add notes to a contact record, you can do so here. And then, since today we are focusing on a search, group messaging, and so on, you can search for notes by keywords under here, and you can also run a segmentation on that as well. So if you want to log any activities, you can do so here. You can also set up any custom activities that depends on your sales process. You can message people from here, and these messages can be sent from any of the email addresses that you have connected to Nimble. You can copy and paste your email signature in settings, and then it will be automatically attached to the contact record. And as you start sending emails or typing emails, you always have the option to save them as templates and then select from existing templates. And then you can send it as tracked, or just you can send it as untracked message in case you're just responding yes, okay. These messages usually don't have to be tracked. So other things that you can use to organize your contacts and put in additional information about them into Nimble are tags. You can also segment on them, which we will test out just in a second. Lead fields. These fields are customizable. So while you can customize the words rating, status, source, and type, you have a complete control over how you define the individual drop downs here. So that can be done in settings, and we'll look at it in just a second. And again, these fields can be segmented on as well. Recently, we added the employment history into Nimble, which is really useful if you want to really have the full view into who people are and their employment history. It's really great for recruiters. So if you're hiring somebody and you're creating profiles for them in Nimble, you can also add the previous information. So any decision makers in your company can then easily open up the person's contact record and see everything they might need to know in order to give feedback and make a decision. You can also attach files from your computer, Dropbox, Drive, and Microsoft Drive as well. So this could be used to upload a resume or cover letters or anything like that. The Smart Summary also can be segmented on together with the credit score. So that's something that we integrate with so that we calculate it for your contacts automatically. So if your company is utilizing influencer marketing, for instance, this is something that you can use to kind of score your influencers and qualify them for outreaches. Also, contact information can, of course, be segmented on, and we will look at it in just a moment. So let's look at data fields. Nimble gives you the ability to create up to 5 custom tabs, and under each of these tabs, you can create over 100 additional fields. This depends completely on the role you play in your company and the business you're in. So in case of you being a real estate agent, you can use custom fields to input any information you have gathered about your leads or customers. So you can use it to qualify them. You can add the, for sellers, you can add the property address, the asking price, anything like that. For if like I said, it really depends on your use case. So custom fields can also be used to add any additional information that you can input into any of the existing fields in Nimble. So it can be a great way for prospecting. So if you are adding additional information about prospects into your CRM. You can create a custom field for the industry or the company type, the size of the company, the revenue. You can create separate fields for all the decision makers, and then you can segment on it and set up next steps. So the data fields are accessible under data fields here, and then if you need to go into additional ones, you'll also see this drop down here. And where do you actually set them up? So you click on the circle in the top right corner here, and you can go into settings and then find it in the menu here. But we also have a special data fields one. So you can go directly in there, or it will also be on the left side here. So create a new tab is easy. You can just click here, name the new tab on the right side. We can name it test tab. You have the option to decide if you want to display these custom fields on people and companies contact records in Nimble, or if you want to only display them on people or only on companies. I'm going to go with the option that will display everywhere. So I'll create the tab, and now I have the option to create a group. So if I want to create one and kind of like organize it, and I don't want to have a one long column of different tabs, I can do so. This can also be separated by individual departments. So if you want to, because you only have the option to create 5 tabs, then you might want to think about saving that room. So then each of your department can have a separate group and so on. So I'm going to create a group for sales. You can also change the icon here. I'm gonna keep this one. And if you want to add a new field, you just click on the plus sign button here. And again, on the right side, you can name it. So I'm going to do industry. And the individual fields can be short text fields, long text fields. So if it's something that you'll be inputting whole paragraphs into, this is maybe the field that you would want to go with. It can be a select box. So if you know exactly what the target industries are for your company, you can create it and make it easy for your employees to add the information in and have them just select from the setup data. We can also have true and false flags. It can be a user field, date field, address field, and it can also be a number. So in this case, I'm going to go with the select box, and I'm going to go with healthcare. I'm going to also go with finance, education. I'll create the fields. And now I have them here. So for, let's say, true false flag can be nonprofit. And we can go back onto a contact record to kind of see what it actually looks like on the front end. So under data fields, I have this test tab. So if I wanted to add the industry, now I have the select box that I can use to pick my choice from. If it's a nonprofit, I can check the box here. So this is how you can completely define the individual custom fields for your use case. And let's go into segmentation. So when you go back to the main contacts tab and click on the segment search, you can use our filtering to come up with targeted groups of people that you want to do something with. So when I click on add contact filter, I will be able to either go through all the existing and custom fields. You can also type it here. So if you know that it's an email address and you don't want to be going through the long list of fields, you can just type it in here to speed it up. And Nimble will help you to display all the people that you have in your database that maybe the email fields are empty. So this can be a great way to kind of clean up your database. So sometimes we tend to import a lot of contacts because we don't necessarily have time to go through them and prioritize and delete the old ones. So once in a while, this can be a way to clean it up. So I actually selected email is not empty, so it's showing everybody that I have email for. So let's do it the proper way. It's empty here. And now all these people I have in Nimble, which is 183, I don't have emails for. So you can always further refine the searches by adding any additional fields. So when I don't have an email for somebody, they're not probably people that I'm actively engaging with. So I want to be sure. So I can also use a field that's called last contacted, and I can do by me or by the entire team. So I'll do by the entire team, and I'll select not in the last year. And 5 people in my database I don't have email for, and we haven't contacted in the last year. I could also further refine it by phone number, and I'm going to do is empty. So now I have 4 people that maybe I can delete from my database. So I could just click here. If this option is not available to you, it's very likely that that the administrator of your Nimble account hasn't given you the permission to do so. So you can contact them and see if you're supposed to have the permission to be able to delete data from your CRM. This is usually delegated to certain people in the company as a precaution, so people can delete the entire database or anything like that. And also bulk export is also something that is delegated by the admin. So if I wanted to delete them, I could do so like this. Another search I could perform is a search by using tags. So one way to start your searches is by clicking here and going through the list. But as you can see, we also have these filters. These are just some of the ones that are most used by our users. So you can use them with combination of this, or you can just use this list. Depends on your preference. So pulling up tags is very easy. So I can pull up a list of all my clients, and I can further refine the search by clients in a certain location. So I'm going to try so I don't have any clients in Los Angeles, but maybe I'll have some in California. Yes, so I have 5 clients in California, and then some of the next steps I could do with them is that I could tag them. I could tag them as clients in California. I could all mark them as important. I could set up a stay in touch reminder with them. I could change the owner, change the privacy, so I could assign them just to myself and nobody else would be able to see them, and so on. Another thing I wanted to make sure that we cover today is the difference between tags and segments. So tags are very easy way to organize your contacts, but the thing is that they are static. So you will have to add them manually to each contact record, while segments will be dynamic. So I can just save this segment, and as I'm adding people to my database, as long as they match the search criteria, they will automatically be added under my segments. Segments will be just on your end in your Nimble instance by default, but you do have the option to share them with your team. So I would highly recommend creating some safe segments, as it can really save you time and make you more productive. So another way to use the segmentation can be by any of the custom fields that we created. So as you can see, the dropdown we created is here. So you can pull them up here, and then you can also see you can do credit score is more than certain number, or you can do a range or something else. If you are using social media to reach out to influencers, another field that you might want to use is the number of followers. So you could also do the follower count. You can also do birthdays. So if you want to come up with a list of your clients that have birthdays, let's say in the third quarter of this year, you can pull them up like this. And I can see that 3 of my contacts have birthdays coming up. So I could then make sure that I set up a reminder to reach out to these people. Or I can also make sure that I let them know. So, or wish them a happy birthday. So I can click on the group message, and here we are in the group message window. The difference between using group messages in Nimble and sending group messages from a marketing automation system like MailChimp, Constant Contact, Reliance Network is that those platforms are great for nurturing your email list, sending beautifully designed newsletters. But the thing is that people will know that they are a part of a group outreach. So the group messaging in Nimble was designed for one-on-one outreach, but at scale. So if you use the segmentation in Nimble to create really targeted groups of people, then you can really play with the words in your messages. So to the people on the list, it really looks like they're the only ones that you reached out from your email that you connected to Nimble. So it will be sent from your Gmail or your Outlook or whatever email you connected to Nimble. And it will be also available in your sent folder. So you'll be able to see that it went out, and we will also give you the insights on the clicks and opens. You can personalize the outreaches by using the first name merge tag or last name, title, or company. So you can really personalize these outreaches. As you create these messages, you always have the option to save templates from here as well, or you can use previously saved template. I'm going to pop this one in. You can make any changes to it. Before you send out the message, always send yourself a test message to make sure that the formatting looks good, that there are no typos. If you include any links, test out that the links work. And once everything looks good, attachments that you meant to attach work, you can send the message out. And once you send it out and go back to group messages here, you'll be able to see the insights on the clicks and opens. So you'll see when was the last time people interacted with your messages, when was the last time they opened it, how many times they opened, and how many times they clicked any links that you included in there. So since we're here in the group messaging part of the presentation, I see that Christy actually sent a question. So I wanted to answer it while we are covering this. She has a great question and is asking, do you mind covering what Nimble is doing on group messaging, email marketing to prevent them from going to customer spam and junk folders, and compared to companies like Constant Contact and similar? So that's a really great question. And because these messages are coming from you, they are not coming from Constant Contact 325 or from MailChimp. And we also are preventing you from blast too many people at once. it's much more likely that your emails will actually land in the main inbox part of your prospects and customers' inboxes and don't get flagged as spams, because they are coming from you and they are meant to look like one-on-one outreaches. So that itself is a precaution to getting flagged as spammers. We also set the limits pretty low. So when we were developing this feature, we tested it as much as we could with different providers and look at the limits they allow each user to send emails from their Gmail. So I believe Gmail allows you to send around 2,000 emails per day. The basic limit when you sign up for Nimble Business will be 100 messages per day per user. They will reset at midnight, and you'll have the option to upgrade to send up to 300 per day. But we are still setting it pretty low, so you have a great cushion for sending any individual messages from your Gmail, and also preventing our users from getting marked as spammers and their messages not being delivered in main inboxes. So thank you so much for your question, Christy. If you need me to go deeper, if you have specific questions, please type it in there and I'll be more than happy to cover it. So this is the group messaging. So you can save templates, you can select from existing templates. I also want to show you where you can manage your templates and how you can set up your signatures. So you can do that in settings. So always this circle in the top right corner, going into settings, and then you can pick from the left side. So in this case, we will go into email settings. Under email signature, you can copy and paste. You can also create it here, save it. And in templates, this is where you can view all your templates. You can also see any templates that anybody from your team may have shared with you. So this is great for teams. If somebody created great templates and they want to make them available to other people on the team, or if it's the management that created some, it's a great way to help with onboarding of new salespeople. So if there are already processes and templates in place, the management will have the option to share them among their teams. So you can always edit them here. You can also share them and you can duplicate them. So if it's, and this is where the segmentation comes into play again, you should really try to create as many target groups as possible so you can really make sure you are personalizing to message so well that to the people that receive it, it looks like a one-on-one outreach. So if you, instead of blasting 100 people at once or 300 people, consider writing down what the criteria is for individuals in this group and think about what you can input in the message so it looks really targeted. So then once you have these groups and you start sending the outreaches, the message will very likely be similar. So if you've already created a template for one outreach, you can duplicate it and just change a few things in the message that will go to the next group. If templates no longer serve you, feel free to delete them here. We do give you the option to add an unsubscribe link to your outreaches, so then you can manage people that have unsubscribed here in this list, and they will automatically be excluded from any group outreaches from you in the future. Whitelisted emails can also be managed here. So I'm going to actually go back to my presentation here, and I want to let you know about our upcoming webinars. So today we covered the segmentation, group messaging, and custom fields. Next week, as I mentioned, we will go deep into Nimble and we'll do a general overview and the mobile overview. And on July 28th, we'll do contact cleanup strategy. So on this webinar, we will go through different ways how you can clean up your database and continue to keep it clean. But we realized that after a while, or maybe when we're getting started, we don't really have a lot of time to go through every single resource that has any data that we want to import to our CRM. It can get messy, so we'll give you some tips and tricks on how you can keep your database nice and clean. And if it's gotten messy, we'll show you how you can clean it up. You can always go to nimble.com/company/webinars, and my colleague Vivian will also be sharing the link in the questions box, and we will be sending follow-up emails to everybody that registered today. So you can rewatch it, share it with anybody, and register for any of our future webinars. We also have a special offer for new users. So sign up today at this link and get 30 days for Nimble for free. So instead of our regular 14-day trial, you can be enjoying Nimble for 30 days. If you already are in trial, you can contact us at care@nimble.com and tell us that you are in trial, you are on this webinar, and you would like to get your trial extended to 30 days. And now let me see if there are more questions. So we have a question about the price of Nimble. So Nimble costs $25 per month per user. If you purchase the annual plan, the price goes down to $19 per month per user. We also have another question about how the browser extension works. So that's a really great question. Let me pull up my LinkedIn here. I'm using it on Chrome. So you can just open it up here, hover over any hyperlink name, and then Nimble will either help you create new contact records. So I don't have Daniel in my Nimble yet, but when I open it, it is still a live profile. And we know that this is Daniel on LinkedIn, on Twitter. He's also an influencer. So we added his cred information, created this bio for him. I know where he's located. I'll see all the areas where he's influential in. I can see his bio, his website. So I can use this to make sure that he really is somebody I want to add to my database. And at that point, I can just click here, turn the live profile into an actual Nimble profile. I can mark him as important and put him on like a VIP list. And I can make any changes to the contact record. I can apply a tag to him. And then I can use it to segment on it. If I want to make any manual changes, I can do it under edit. I can change the employment. I can add any information here manually and save it. So let me know if there's any more questions. Okay, so if anything else comes to mind, feel free to email us at care@nimble.com. We'll be more than happy to answer any questions. And I hope that you will have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much for stopping by.